Hello everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Mind and Soul. Today, we're going to talk about honesty with relationship. So this is a bit of a different format because before I was just saying what was on my mind. I am still saying what is on my mind, but I've written it down just so it's sort of like a hint, pointers of me going to where. So let's give this a go. So, the most important thing you can talk about in relationship is honesty with each other, because if you can't be honest with each other, then assumption starts to happen between you two, the relationship, and that's when it breaks the relationship because it makes it unstable. Because if one person is assuming something and the other person isn't being completely honest, they have the right to be kind of assuming why they're not telling you some certain stuff, and they'll just keep thinking about it and keep digging until it's just too late to fix it or something like that. So here's sort of like an example I wrote down. So imagine a situation where partner A wants to go out with a friend but didn't tell partner B. However, partner B finds out that someone else that the partner A is seeing a friend. So you can see a whole load of problems there already. So you will kind of ask the question, why would partner A not tell partner B? I mean, if partner A is just friends with if partner A is just friends with the person, surely they'll have to tell partner B to let them know that they are going out, instead of waiting for partner B to find out from someone else that they've seen something and then make it all like kind of like a fishy situation. So you kind of see like how that might look kind of bad on partner A because they didn't tell partner B what was happening. So I hope you guys follow about that. So when partner A comes back and then partner B confronts partner A, why didn't you tell me this? A situation like that could have been avoided if partner A just told partner B that they're seeing a friend. So you kind of think that maybe partner A is just scared to tell partner B on how they'll react. But that's the whole point on being in a relationship, is that you can freely trust each other and not have any secrets. Having secrets within a relationship is basically a bullet to the heart. It will kill any relationship because you can't be honest with each other. Sure, you can have like little minor secrets, but if you're gonna spend time with the person that you think you can trust with throughout the rest of your life, then you shouldn't have these kind of doubts or feelings. So these are some examples of how you know when you're not ready for a relationship now. So this is kind of something different because I gave an example now, and now I'm going to give you some tips on how you can actually open your eyes to actually ascertain the situation and see if your guys are ready or not. Because I have seen so many people who's not ready for a relationship, but at the same time they get like really heartbroken, and yeah. So how do you know if you're ready for a relationship? So you can tell if you can actually be honest with each other, so there's nothing to hide. And if you don't be honest with each other, then that's when you know that you can't be in a relationship with that person, because why can't you trust them to be your girlfriend or boyfriend? So that will make the relationship unstable. So that's the first one, if you can't be honest. Second one, if one person depends on the other too much and it feels like that they can't live without the person. So this is kind of a bit a double-edged sword, because you can count on the person that you're in a relationship, but if you count on them too much, that it feels like you have to be there 24/7, and it's like a drug. Above it, you have this cold turkey feeling. So this is when the person who doesn't need to depend on the other person too much needs to talk to them to find out what's wrong and help with their insecurities, because the only reason why they will depend on you too much is because they're quite insecure. So don't dismiss it, help them, and then together you can grow together. So I used together too much there, but okay. Okay, so if it doesn't work out like that, then the person who is the stronger half, I wouldn't want to say stronger, but the person who doesn't need to depend on the person too much has to probably say that they need some space. And then in that situation, both ends will need to know that in order to make things work, you need some space and then think about the problem. I mean, you can only move so fast, you can only move as fast as each other, and if one moves too far ahead, the other would wait for them to catch up. So it's basically just getting both of you to up to speed. But I mean, if a person who feels like that they cannot live without them, then it feels that they're definitely not ready for a relationship, and they need to wait and understand the situation. There's no point on feeding that addiction, because it will just make them feel like they need to depend on you even more. So it's just like a drug, so the more you take it, the more you get addicted to it, and once you're out of it, it's harder for you to actually get out of it. But if you help each other, then it's completely fine. So the next one is a bit harder to notice, because if both partners depend on each other too much, and then they sort of create what this is called a bubble effect. It's basically they spend every single minute or second of their life together and isolate themselves from the world. I just drew a bubble with my hands. So this is when you just cut out everything apart from each other, and this is not a healthy way to live or be in a relationship, because if you think about it, you have like friends and stuff like that supports you, but if you think about this, if you cut yourself out of the whole loop of your friends and stuff like that, and you don't talk to them, later on they'll just probably move away from you, saying that they just need their own space and stuff like that. We'll just leave them. So after a few years, then you probably lose in contact with them because you don't notice that they disappeared. So what if something happens then, like something happens in your relationship and your bubble pops? That's when you realize you made some mistakes, because then you realize that there's no one to go to anymore. Your friends has moved on because you left them behind. So there's a sort of like a mistake that a lot of people do. They don't spend enough time with their friends at the same time as spending it with your relationship partner. So there has to be a balance, sort of. So don't form a bubble around you and your partner. Break out of that bubble, because if you do start forming this bubble, that means you're not ready to have a relationship, because you can't manage your friendship and your relationship, and if something happens, then you have to suffer the consequences. But if a good friend would let them know that you're kind of isolating yourself, and if you backlash at them, then you have to really think about what you're doing, because sometimes in your head your situation is completely different to what your friend is seeing. Maybe you two should be talking to each other. So friend, honesty, last episode, be honest with your friend. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm about to say for relationship, because I don't really want to make this episode too long. It's about to turn 10 minutes. So yeah, think about these things before having a relationship, because it could either break or end friendship, relationships, or everything around you. So this is the end of honesty. So this is 3-parter, honesty, 3 parts, and this is the last part. Next week we'll be talking about trying out new things. I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.